Yeah, so I started recording. So
Oh, I didn't know what's happening.
no, I don't know.
Yeah,
Usually it doesn't say when it is record. Now it says okay. Yeah.
yeah.
So I'm opening because I'll start this course. Okay. Did I send last week video or
You
no?
didn't. I don't think so.
Actually, I forgot. So now I'll
Hmm.
send both of them because last week I think
Okay.
introduction only I given, right, and released. So
Yeah.
I'll send both of them today. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. You.
I think, no, I think you got new app or what? It's asking. She's just
No.
talking about I
Record,
got
right?
notification. Yeah, I got notification here. The video is recording.
I don't know. This is same app, Zoom app I'm using. Might be they would have upgraded this one.
Oh, okay.
So
So why did
usually,
they request? They're asking me to confirm.
okay, okay.
Salam, she didn't get confirmation
Confirmation for what?
For recording,
for
like
for recording.
For this? For now? For this
meeting.
last week? No, I
No, no,
haven't.
no, no. I said now the our video is recording.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, this meeting is being recorded.
Yeah,
I don't know.
it's new for me. That's
Yeah,
why.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So continue or not continue? I
Yeah, continue.
I did.
Say
continue.
continue.
I did continue.
Yeah, say continue. That's fine. So this array list. Let me go through the list again. Okay. So every Sunday you remember. Okay. Every Sunday we'll have, and until
Yes,
you get job, like we'll keep continuing. Okay.
yes, yes.
So once you get job, then automatically you get confidence.
Huh?
You will get confidence like one if Salem get job, right? Yeah,
You think
Yeah,
so?
of course.
yeah. It's not tough process here. It's an easy process. I think already Salem would have spoke to you, right? Yeah. Okay. So collections. I'll just go through quickly up to array list. Array list we have practiced in last session. So collections, as I told, collection is a group of objects. Okay. So why we need collections? So the advantage is like, suppose let's say if there are like 10 students in the class, if you want to represent 10 students, so we need to create 10 student objects like this: student 1, student 2, student up to student 10 we have to create. So if you would like to pass all 10 students data or objects into another method like this, like send to another, so you need to like put all these objects in this way, right? So this is not the good way, because let's say if there are 100 students, so we cannot put like 100 student objects with comma separated. So instead of this, what we can do, we'll create a collection of the students object collection. How we create? So the same way, like the last class I showed you how to create a collection object like this, right? So collection we can create in this way with array list. So we can create a collection, and we keep adding all the student objects and pass it to the method, other method. So there are like mainly 4 types. So I will today what I will do, this array list whatever we saw, I will explain you again. I will create one more array list with a group of user defined objects, that means student objects, that I will show you. So now I will just go through very high level, like what is list, what is set, map. So there are mainly 4 types of collections: list, set, map, and queue, basically. So list is list of the things, that means it will allow duplicates also. So set is same as list, but it will not allow duplicates, it will allow only unique things. So map. So map is basically it's a key value page. We assign key and value page. So this I'm going to explain. And the queue is like as first in first out. The element which entered into as a first order, it will come out first in, first out. So when the element which entered inside the first, it will come out first. So there is a queue. So queue usually we don't use in real time much. So these three are very important: list, set, and map to understand. So each group has multiple implementation classes. Like map has hash map, hash table, tree map, linked hash map. These are the classes. Map is interface, and set has hash set, linked hash set, tree set, and the list has array list, vector, and linked list. And the queue is priority queue. This we don't need to focus much. This is not important one. And utility classes are there, like to perform any operations on the map and the set list or queue. So we can use these collections arrays, utility classes. So, and there are some legacy class also there. Legacy means like, you know, the old classes which come from Java 1. Currently we are in Java 8. So we are in Java 8, sorry, not 8 actually, 11 is also started, but very popular version is Java 8. So so since we are in 8 or 11, so there is a initial version, right? Java 1. So Java 1 onwards, like these collections are there. That's what, like, these are called legacy classes. The dictionary, hash table, properties, stack, vector, these are legacy classes. So usually they don't ask any question about legacy. It's like, no, it's not very important question, but knowing, we need to know like what are the legacy classes. So there are 5 classes: dictionary, hash table, properties, stack, and vector. And this is the hierarchy of collection. So collection is the main interface, super interface, and it has the 3 sub interfaces, which are set, list, and queue. And set has hash set, linked hash set, and sorted set, navigable set, and tree set. All this hierarchy, like, you know, as I told in last class. So, and list has array list, vector, and then it has linked list also as subclass. So list is the interface here, and the queue is also interface, which has priority queue is subclass, and linked list is basically part of list and queue. So and then there is a separate hierarchy, which is map. Map stores the data as key value pairs, and map has hash table, hash map, a navigable map, and then tree map. All this, like, you know, hierarchy you can just go through quickly. So, and then object, utility classes, like, you know, arrays and collections directly derive from the object class. And array list, as I told, right, array list stores stores the data as list of the things, and it allow duplicates. So array list is very first collection which you're going to learn, and array list uses a dynamic array of storing the elements. It extends abstract class as well as implements list interface, and it can contain duplicates. Array list can contain duplicates, so it will allow duplicates. And let me format this correctly. Yeah, array list can contain duplicates. So these are the features of array list. Okay, so what array list follows? So array list contains duplicates, and it maintains insertion order. That means the way how we are inserting, like in this example, right? The way how we are inserting using add method, the same order it maintains. That means it will actually first store the Sam, then Rahim, then Ram, all this, like it will store. And so it is not synchronized related to thread concept, and it random access because array works index basis, as I told, right, last class. Indexes means when you are trying to add first element, it stores in 0 index. When you try to add second element, it stores in 1 index. When you try to add third element, it stores so it stores the index as is. Okay, I like this. And the same way we can retrieve, like, you know, so using for loop and whatever it told. This I'll talk after this. Okay? And then it is basically adding and removing bit slower, because when you're adding and removing, like, you know, when you're adding these indexes, like it has to shuffle. So when you're trying to add ram here, what it does, like, you know, the array list already stored 2 elements. It has to find out like what is the last element and add. So it actually shuffles the data. So that is the reason adding and remove is bit slow. Example of array list, this program I will run now again. So let me go through this. So for creating any array list, so as I told, right? So I think last class, Salem or someone asked, so what is the difference between array and array list? Array basically, right? So when you're creating array, so we have to like initialize the array with the predefined size. That means 5 here. So array list, when you're declaring array list, it is always dynamic. So we don't need to define any size. We can directly put the array list. Did I put this program, same program? Yeah, I'll try to put here. So, and then array list always dynamic, and we don't need to specify any size. So the way how we are declaring array list is, so first, like array list, we need to put here, and then string. Okay, string is here. If you look at the less than and greater than symbol, in between symbol there is a string we put it. So this is, as I told in last class, this is basically type safety. So what is the type safety? We are telling that this array list, whatever we are declaring here, will store only string objects. It will not allow us to store any other than string objects. That means when you're trying to add integer, basically when trying to add integer, it will throw error message now. So when you try to add integer, it will throw error. So because, yeah, let me, so it will throw error. So now, because we declare this array list, when you are declaring array list, we are telling a Java compiler that, so this array list has to store only string objects, string values. So that means it will not allow any other than other types. Like if you add any integer here, it will not allow. And if you add like any double value, any double value, it will not allow. If you add like any boolean, like true or false, it will not allow. So other than the string, it will not allow any other type. So that's about type safety. So here type safety we are telling. And then same as like how we are defining student object, same as, so we put the object name, this means the collection name here, and the new operator we use, and then array list is the like main class name. And then this way, like we create the same open and close brackets, right? Like when we're creating any object like student or any object. So, and after that, so the same, while actually initializing this object here, we will put the same string. So this is a standard format we follow for creating any collection. So, and then once we create the collection, we can add the elements using add method. So this, we have to take the collection here variable what we declared here, and this collection or variable or object, basically correction object, and then we use the add method and add the collection element what you would like to add. So here Sam, Rahim, Ram, all this, like, right? So then for retrieving collection, how we are doing, there are three ways retrieving using iterator. So it is using iterator, like iterator, what it does. So there is a like iterator method is there. So which returns the iterator object, and using has next method. So using while has next, basically it will return true. That means if if this iterator returns true, that means there is an element is available next iteration. So then we can use next iterator dot next method, and then we'll actually display the elements. And say there is another way is using for loop. So for loop already we learn how to initialize for loop and all, right? First initializer, and then condition, then increment. This already So we learn in basics, right? So control statements type. So first it will initialize the variable, and then it will check like whether this variable whatever like I is uh, less than or equal to, what it does, right? So it will actually iterate the array list up to it reaches the maximum size. That means here it initializes the 0, and it will check whether 0 is less than or equal to array list size. So what is the array list size here? So how many elements we stored here? Can you tell me what is the array list size? What would be the array list size? You, Salem. So what would be the array list size? Can you tell me?
What was the question again?
So here the
I
array
couldn't-
list, right? We declared the array list. And
Yeah.
what is the array list size here? Array list size.
Result or?
No, size. What would be the size of this array list?
Oh,
2. You mean like the index or the list? The list three, but it's like 2 indexes, right?
3. Size is the 3 here.
3.
Okay. Yeah, we list is index, but we stored the 3 elements, right? So here the size is 3. We store the 3 elements. So what this method will give, right? It will return 3 here. Okay. So I equal to 0, and what it does in first iteration, 0 less than 3 it will check. It will become true, right? It will become true. Then it will come. You know about for loop, for loop how it works, right? I
Yeah,
explained
for
it.
loop. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
just counting the index. If
Yes,
it's index, if we count in 2,
Yeah,
but
yeah, yeah. Index is 2, but elements is 3. Okay.
the elements
So
3. Yeah.
yeah, it become true. Now it will come here. Okay, it will come and check, like, array list has get method also. As I add, it has get method. Get off this 0. Okay, get off 0 means here in first iteration it will give Sam. It will print the Sam. Okay, in first iteration. Then it after this printed first element, it will come and increment. Okay, 0 increment 1 here. Okay, then it will come and check whether 1 is less than or equal to size 3. Yeah, it is true, right? Then it will come and try to execute. So get off 1. So first element. Okay, that means Rahim it will print. Then it will increment. Okay, 1 plus plus is 1 plus plus is 2, right? So it will come and see now 2 less than or equal to 3. Yes, it is true. Then it will come and see, like, what is the third element. Sorry, what is the second index element, which is RAM. It will print RAM, and then it will
RAM, yeah.
increment. Yeah, it will increment 3 here. Whether 3 less than or equal to 3. 3 less than 3, true or false? 3 less than 3.
False.
False. Yeah, it will come out. So after printing. So this is how it works. Do you understand? Can you explain whatever you understand? This is how it works. This is important to know. You understand, right? You want Salem? You want me to explain again? This is how it.
If I
about the for example, we have 2 index and 3 lengths, right? So
yeah, total
we can,
3. Total
yeah.
3. We are iterating up to 3 only. So that
Up to
means
if yeah.
from 0 to 3 we are indexing, and we are iterating, and up to 3 only we are printing. And that means, like, it will print index 2 only, up to index 2. It will not come. When it become 3, right? This I, it will come out. It will come out, and it will not print to third index.
Yeah, when the string list is increasing, the number of output also it's increasing.
Correct. Yeah. Yeah, just practice this. This is important too. Yeah. This program I will put in Word document separately. Like, let me. Yeah, I'll put this program again, the second program, and then you can practice. Okay. Yeah. And what?
okay.
And there's one more way. So which is enhanced for loop. So this is very easy to print. Okay. This if you understand this concept, this is also same, like, basically we don't need to put indexes here. It will basically iterate using this syntax, like, for string element, and then it will basically, like, just iterate the collection and print the elements. Here we don't maintain indexes. So the difference between this for loop and this for loop is, in this for loop it actually iterate through indexes. It without indexes it will iterate, but internally it maintains the indexes, like, it will iterate.
This is the short way, right?
Short
Like
way.
array function. That's like arrow function.
Yeah, arrow function. Very short way. This one. It doesn't maintain
Very short,
indexes.
yeah. Short way, yeah.
Yeah. So in the program Java project, somewhere you need to maintain. You need to know the index. That time you have to use this way. If you don't need to maintain indexes, if you don't need to know indexes, then you can use this way. Okay. That's the two ways are there.
But which one is the easiest and clear one?
This one is very easiest way, but in some cases you need to know indexes while running the code, right? You need to know the index, what index the currently the iterator is there. So that time you have to use this one.
Yeah, for example, when you are using for loop, we got for index equals 0, and when index is increasing, our output also is increasing. So here, when enhanced, where our inputs where we can give the inputs here, string A.
Yeah, input, like it what it does, it internally. So when you run this code, it internally do the same thing. So it actually internally use this way. Okay, this way it internally. So I think Sayed joining now. Hi Sayed. Hello, Sayed. Sayed, are you there?
Yeah, hi, Chandra. Sorry, I got late.
Oh, that's okay, no problem. So we just started actually. We waited for
Okay.
some time. Yeah. So
Thank you
this
so
first
much.
session is almost going to end in 7 minutes. I'll send the second one. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
I think same. I'm talking like whatever we discussed last session. Yeah.
Okay. Good.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, for your question, right? What it does, it actually internally. So compiler, it actually use the same logic as this. Okay. It does internally. It doesn't show us like for programmer. It does internally, but for us like the Java like they given short way to iterate, but it internally does the same thing. Okay. Yeah, so that is the way. So now what I'm going to do, so now this is the way of like the string objects, right? I'm going to show you how can we add collection with user defined object. That means if we have any student like so here, so there is a student class already there, right? So let me close this. So there is a student class already. So what we can do, we will create multiple student objects, and using that student object, how iteration we work. Okay. So now what I'm going to do, just create some five or yeah, how many, like we can create multiple like student objects also. 10 we can create. I'll create 10, and I'll show you how it works in case of user defined objects, or like um, any our own defined objects. Okay, let me. So it has we need to pass student ID, first name, last name, and grade. So this is one object like that. We can create multiple. And just create and change it. We'll create 5 objects. Okay. Second object I am creating. Third one. Some names I give any name like. Yeah, so just put.
So you creating for each student parameter, like
Yeah, each student, I'm trying to create like, some,
collection of parameters.
yeah, so like this I'm creating. So, there's some grades I have given, some random grades, right? So, and then there are 5 objects, student 1, student 2, student 3, student 4, student 5, 5 objects is there, okay? So the 5 objects, so have different like, so as I initially spoke, right, like suppose if you want to pass like these are all students, like whatever you created objects into some other method, we cannot do like this comma separate, so we have to create a collection of student objects. So for creating collections, what we can do, we declare a same another array list collection, so with the student as a data type. Okay, here earlier, right, in this case I have taken string. That means in this we can store only string objects or string values. Now I am going to create one more array list with student type. So let me put direct cut. Okay, this is student list. Okay, and then new array list I am creating with student type. So this is the way of declaring any user defined collection. So what this statement tells, okay, there is a one student list object I am creating, and this meeting is ending in 2 minutes. Okay, I'll let you know. So here what it does, so it is basically like we are telling there is one collection, student list collection we are creating with type of students. So this will allow to add only students. It will not allow to add any strings or any other type. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to put all the student objects like whatever I created into this collection, so that it will hold all the student objects, and we can use this as a single unit for all the student objects. Okay, so that's what I'm trying to show. Okay, now this hold 5 objects. Now suppose, let's say if you try to put if you try to add any string directly, it will not allow. Okay, if you try to add, let's say if you try to add Ram here, so it will not allow. It will reject, because so why it rejected? Can you tell me, Salem, are you, why it is rejecting?
What's that?
Why it is rejecting? Why it is not accepting? Here it is.
Because you're looking like student numbers, right? You're right. You're doing list, right? Student list.
Yes. It will allow
So
only.
you just only allowing the strings.
Yes.
Not
So
names.
meeting ending is like in 1 minute. Let me stop and okay, send in your number. Okay, we'll talk after this. Is that okay? I'm sending new number. You can join. Hello?
Can you?
Yeah, I'm sending new number. You
Oh.
can join there.
Yeah, Chandra, so
Yeah.
good. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Still I was talking.